Yo, this is the Hungry Millennial coming to you from Chicago, Illinois. Today we're talking about discipline, right? Some of the easiest ways to be disciplined is by studying, listening, and learning, right? Some people may think those things run hand in hand, but there were many times that I was in college that I was studying material, but I wasn't actually learning from it, and I wasn't actually listening, right? So, many times it's like going through flashcards, right? You don't want to use your life to go through flashcards over and over and just testing out flashcards and, studying those over and over, because it doesn't get sunken in deep. Everybody learns differently, but I've noticed, like, especially even with like just small things like videos and stuff, if I study it, and then I take the time to actually listen to what they're saying instead of what they're doing, it kind of ingrains itself, right? So you want to get to a point where, when you're studying something, you're actually like sitting down and studying who's in your field is doing whatever you want to do, or, who's doing what you don't want to do, right? You can learn from bad examples. A big thing that I've learned is, I don't have to make everybody's mistake all the time to prove that, to prove myself, to say that, oh, I've been out there and I've had the experience, right? I don't necessarily have to do that, right? You don't always have to do that. I know plenty of people who have never drank and smoked who are perfectly fine, and, they're fully functional members of society. So you have to have the ability to make that choice. But how do you make a choice like that without studying whatever other people are doing and what their reactions are, right? So also, when it comes to listening, right, there's active listening and there's passive listening, right? Many times if you just go in and you start just talking, and you're like, yeah, but, or if, or what if, or whatever, a lot of times you're not being very receptive to what that individual's saying, right? And no matter what their age level or their experience in life, you can always learn something from somebody. I think one of my greatest gifts in life is being able to be an Uber driver, because I learn something every day from somebody different. They might have experience in my field, but if I overtalk that person, I'm not listening, I'll never know that, right? And then learning. When we talk about learning, you can learn from your own mistakes. You can learn from other people's mistakes, and it serves as a guideline, to keep you steady. Because a lot of times there's a fine line in life where we're like, oh man, we didn't learn anything, right? Oh, college didn't teach me anything, right? But a lot of times college is one of those parameters where you have to be, it has parameters where you have to be kind of self-taught in a way, because you have a bunch of distractions in class. A lot of times I would go into a classroom and, somebody was already getting into it with the teacher, right? Even though we were both paying, over, $100,000 or whatever for that education, sometimes it was detrimental to me or others around us, because that other person had like this narcissistic complex where everything was about them. Like, I get, like, life, everybody has told you, like, this is yours, you're paying for this or whatever, but you also have other people around you who see those traits, and that lack of leadership that they see in you a lot of times will carry over. So, when it comes to discipline, I struggle with this a lot, and I'm continuing to get better as I get older, because I realize that I don't have the tools, I don't have the keys to everything. That's why I study, different motivational speakers, so that way I can, listen to exactly what they're saying, and then I can learn and take those traits on with me. So, this is the Hungry Millennial coming to you from Chicago, Illinois. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.